Tracking that rain as it comes in, let you know how much rain to expect, and also when can we get rid of these clouds and get some sun? We'll have those answers for you coming up.
Ahead right now at 6, the old Springdale High School gym hosting its final pep rally today.
A lot of great memories, ball games we played here, great crowds, great victories, a few heartbreaks.
We'll take you to today's celebration that brought together Springdale Bulldogs from the past and present. And have you ever come across a Girl Scout cookie that had a different name than you're used to? Tonight, our verified team explains the reason why. Plus, College Game Day is in town to feature the Razorbacks matchup against number 6 Kentucky tomorrow. Find out what the show hosts think of the Hogs' chances.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at 6.
Thanks for joining us for this special streaming edition of your 5 News at 6. I'm Alexandra Burnley. Darren has a night off. Well, the end of an era is upon us. Springdale High School hosted the last pep rally in its current gym today. The facility will be replaced by a brand new sports complex, which is currently under construction just across campus. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza takes us to that celebration on a court that holds many memories for the Bulldogs.
Change is coming to Springdale High School. With the new sports complex going up, the old gym will soon be a thing of the past.
It's going to be a big transition.
A home to memories both new and old.
We are here to help close the gym down with the last pep rally in this building.
Karen and Charles Smith graduated from Springdale High in 1965. Still Bulldogs to this day.
We were in the gym just last week watching the basketball game.
There's no other team that we would root for unless we've got family playing on it.
Karen spent her career working as a Springdale elementary school teacher, while Charles spent his right here on the court.
They need to build a monument to that guy.
Smith coached thousands of Springdale athletes in his 40 years as a coach, including Jim Moore.
Ball games we played here, great crowds, great victories, a few heartbreaks. And just driving here today, coming down the street and looking at it to see it's going to be torn down. You know, it's called progress, but yet at the same time, a lot of memories will still kind of be buried right here.
While students celebrate their last games in the gym, alums say the memories made here will live on.
Having a good relationship with Fayetteville High School.
As the Bulldog spirit remains.
Don't waste time. Take advantage of everything you've been given.
They're moving up to bigger and better things, and they'll make the adjustment pretty good, better than the old folk would, so they're in good shape.
In Springdale, covering news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
Well, that looks like a great day. Well, while the Smiths attends many games, they're also involved with students' education. They say the class of 1965 remains active, helping provide scholarships for Bulldogs who go to the U of A. Springdale administrators tell us they should be in the new gym by next month. The Pea Ridge community coming together today at the city's police department to help replenish the local blood supply. Hospitals across our area are dealing with major shortages of blood after the winter storms caused a lot of donors to miss their appointments.
Winter is our biggest struggle. The weather causes blood drives to cancel, prevents donors from coming and donating. Right now, because of the recent weather events that we've experienced, we're at an over 400 unit deficit, and that's just in our local blood supply right here.
The annual event is called the Blood Drive. It's hosted by the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks. It was at Pea Ridge Police Department and also honors the memory of fallen officers. For every successful donation, the Blood Center gave $10 to Arkansas Concerns for Police Officers. That's a group focused on helping families of fallen officers.
We're all family members of officers that have died in the line of duty. We're all volunteers, and we help when family members are going through the grief, we help them with that grieving process, and we stay with them for as long as they want.
Today, the blood drive honoring fallen officers comes just days before one of the accused killers of Pea Ridge police officer Kevin Apple is scheduled to stand trial. Shauna Cash is charged with capital murder in the death of Officer Kevin Apple, and a jury trial is set to begin on Monday. She's charged alongside Elijah Andazola, who is still awaiting trial. Prosecutors allege they killed Officer Apple in June of 2021 when they hit him with their car at a gas station. Both are being held without bond at the Benton County Jail. We'll bring you updates from the Benton County Courthouse, where Cash is set to stand trial next week. The Political Animals Club of Northwest Arkansas meeting today for a luncheon in Fayetteville. The nonpartisan organization brings together people who are interested in state politics. Today's luncheon was focused on constitutional amendments. Supporters of proposed amendments to legalize abortion and enshrine government transparency laws in the state constitution are now gathering signatures in hopes of taking those issues before Arkansas's voters. Today's featured speaker was David Couch, who's with the Arkansas Citizens for Transparency group. That's a group behind the Transparency Amendment movement.
The reason I came here today was to talk about, really the initiative referendum process in Arkansas, how it started, how it's progressed over the years, why it's so important to the people of the state of Arkansas, and how we should do everything we can to protect it.
Supporters of both amendments will need to get more than 90,000 signatures from voters in at least 50 of Arkansas's 75 counties to get this issue on the ballot. New at 6, an investment in fashion and arts in Northwest Arkansas. The National Endowment for the Arts has awarded Interform a $25,000 grant. It's just one of 10 grants awarded to Arkansas organizations. Leaders of the Springdale nonprofit plan to use that money for the Emerge Designer Residency Program. Launched in 2020, it connects young designers with industry mentors to help them hone their craft. Interform leaders believe their unique space in the fashion world prompted this grant.
We are working at the intersection of fashion and art. That is not an industry that is very present in Arkansas. And so I think we are targeting a community that is both underrepresented, but also eager to have more opportunities. And so I think the NEA saw that in our organization and said, let's support the ability for people to become fashion designers outside of New York or LA.
Love it. The National Endowment for the Arts is one of the largest funders of the arts and education in communities across the country. Arkansas Razorback Dvo Davis making a stop today at Fayetteville Elementary School to help present the kids with a gift, a $10,000 donation from Casey's to Holcomb Elementary. That money will go to help upgrade the school's outdoor basketball court, somewhere Dvo says he spent a lot of quality time at his school growing up.
I remember me being in elementary school and being able to go outside for recess or extra playtime, to be go out there, have some fun with my friends and play some hoops. And so I think it's very exciting for these kids to be able to have this experience and for Casey's to be able to be doing this for them.
Very exciting. Look at how amped up they are. Well, Dvo also called the hogs and played some hoops with the students today during his stop at Holcomb. Looking ahead to tomorrow, the Taneytown Fire Department is welcoming people to come check out their brand new fire station. Look at how beautiful this is. It's happening from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Great way to spend the day with your kids. The state-of-the-art facility was approved by the town's voters back in 2021. Firefighters finally got to move into the new station this month. The old building has been in use since 1978. Congressman Steve Womack and Taneytown Mayor Angela Russell will also be there speaking at tomorrow's grand opening celebration. Let's take you outside right now as it is looking like another pretty dark and stormy day across Fayetteville as we look on the downtown square. Matt, we didn't see any rain today, though. It just kind of feels like we might have gotten it, but so far, nothing.
Feels like it could have rained at any time, but the clouds remained empty. We still had, though, at times some low clouds kind of producing a little mist on your windshield at times, just a little bit, but not necessarily rainfall. And look how low the clouds are now getting again in Springdale. Expect a couple foggy spots here and there, especially in northwest Arkansas, where we've seen a couple visibilities dropping. Temperatures generally in the 40s, low 50s right now across much of the River Valley. Got a northeast wind pretty much area wide. There's the rain. This is now starting to come in. You're looking at max Doppler 5. A couple light rain showers actually now starting to come into western Benton County, right there near Siloam Springs, headed northbound towards Heifel, towards Gentry, towards Exonay. But once you expand the map, you're going to see there's a lot more rain to go. This is just kind of one little appendage trying to sneak in on us. But heavier rain moving in from the south and west, crossing over the Red River and moving northeast. So generally just watching this outer edge, which, by the way, kind of starts to fade just a little bit as it gets into some drier air around us. And so eventually that'll be overcome and the rain will arrive. But generally, 8 to 9 o'clock, we'll get some of our first light rain showers. And then if you don't get one by 8 or 9, definitely expect some by about midnight or so. That's kind of the rough leading edge. But there's a lot of rain coming in from Oklahoma and Texas, so we are going to be wet later tonight. We've got these low rain chances for the next couple of hours. Don't be surprised if you get a couple raindrops. If you got plans this evening, maybe still a good idea to get the rain jacket. But then overnight, that's when the rain will really come. Generally light to moderate rain. We're not expecting the heavy stuff. Most of the heavy stuff will be farther to the east, closer to the Mississippi River Valley. Could even be a few little mini thunderstorms pressing into southern Arkansas. But here at home, just light rain. Now by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, close to lunchtime, the rain will be wrapping up. But here's the thing, on the backside, there could be a couple flurries as temperatures get a little bit colder. Most of the flurry chances should be in the mountains. Even in northwest Arkansas for the metro areas and the cities, not a lot is expected as drier air is starting to move in from the west. This may be more of a Carroll, Madison, Newton County thing, but higher up, right on top of the mountaintops, there could be a couple stray dustings. But generally, for most of us, that shouldn't be impactful. But if you do see a couple snow showers, let us know. We'd love to track them with you tomorrow in the middle part, early part of the afternoon. But by the evening, we are done. The clouds slowly breaking, but we won't really get the effect until Sunday. So we got one more day of the clouds and the rain to go, and then we are done for the several days. Here's your forecast tomorrow morning. Waking up, headed out the door, very wet for your Saturday morning. By the afternoon, we should dry out, other than a stray snowflake in parts of maybe northwest Arkansas, but generally more the mountains and the higher terrain areas. So wet for Saturday, but then Sunday we got good news. Still kind of on the cool side with some northwest winds, but the sun will come back out. And then once we can get the sun out, we're going to warm up nicely. We've got 50s and 60s coming up next week. Generally, and we'll talk more about it tonight at 10, we will watch our next storm system come in closer to next weekend, but much of next week, a lot better and warmer.
All right, thank you, Matt. Well, it is Girl Scouts cookie season, but there are different variations, of course, in the cookies you know and love. Brandon Lewis with our Verify team looks into why you might hear someone calling your favorite Girl Scout cookie by a different name.
It's that time of year when Girl Scouts start selling cookies to raise money for their troops. A tweet with more than 100,000 views claims there are 2 different versions of the famous cookies depending on where you live. So let's verify. Our sources are the Girl Scouts of the USA and Girl Scout cookie makers, ABC Bakers and Little Brownie Bakers. It turns out there are 2 bakeries that are licensed to make Girl Scout cookies. They're required to produce a type of chocolate mint cookie, a shortbread cookie, and a peanut butter sandwich cookie, but they use different recipes and sometimes even different names. For example, both bakeries make Thin Mints, but use different ingredients and they look slightly different. Little Brownie calls its peanut butter cookie a do-si-do, but ABC calls it a peanut butter sandwich. The bakers can also create their own unique varieties or play off of their rivals. You might know this cookie as a caramel delight made with milk chocolate, but in some places it's called a Samoa and it's made with dark chocolate. Local Girl Scout councils decide which bakery to partner with and which types of cookies their troops can sell. So yes, Girl Scout cookies are different based on where you live. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Well, there you go. 4 NFL teams set to battle Sunday for a ticket to Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. In the NFC, the Detroit Lions visit the San Francisco 49ers looking for their first ever trip to the big game. While in the AFC, it's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will be at home looking to dethrone Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, who won last year's Super Bowl after deflating the Eagles. Jim Nance is handling play-by-play duties for Sunday's game, and Super Bowl for CBS says the defending champs will be heading into Baltimore on Sunday.
This is a position that Kansas City relishes. Chance to go in and win on the road. They loved every minute of it last week, being in that role, the role of the villain, and they prevailed against the Bills, and they're trying to do the same thing against the Ravens.
You can watch the entire CBS broadcast of the Chiefs and Ravens game this Sunday. Kickoff is set for 2 o'clock right here on Channel 5 and also streaming on Paramount+. The winner of the game will move on to, of course, the Super Bowl. That's 2 weeks from this Sunday. You'll be able to watch that entire game right here on Channel 5 as it happens live in Las Vegas. Right now, we're going to send it over to 5 News Sports Director Alex Stewart for a look at some local sports stories making headlines. Alex.
5 News Razorback Report, sponsored by Mach 1 Financial Group.
Of all the games in all the weeks of all of college basketball, I'm sure more than one person has, in a totally G-rated way, asked College Game Day, why are you coming to Fayetteville for the first time for this one? Well, like finding out how many licks to the center of a Tootsie Pop, the world may never know. But the fact is, Bud Walton is hosting its first ever College Game Day tomorrow as the 6th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats come to town to take on the Hogs. And while things haven't gone according to plans or preseason polls for Coach Muss, the Game Day crew is still excited to be on the Hill and still have faith the Hogs can turn this season around.
I think it's great we're here. I mean, you got Kentucky and Arkansas. Arkansas went to the Sweet 16, last 3 years, either the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. Every team, there's roadblocks and detours. The Muss Bus needs an oil change, but, you know, he's done that before. Last year it needed an oil change, and they got to the Sweet 16. So, look, every game here is an event. They're not games, they're events. Kentucky comes in town, it's a bigger event. So, you know, we're excited to be here. I'm excited. I've never seen a game.
Well, we can all hope that their first trip to the Basketball Palace of Mid-America will be a memorable one for the right reasons. The College Game Day pregame show starts at 10 a.m. The game they're covering starts at 5 as Arkansas looks to shock the nation against number 6 Kentucky. And they'll be looking to follow in the Razorback tracks of the women's team who took care of business against the Wildcats last night, 88-61. In the victory, Arkansas put together their best first quarter of the season with 29 points. And it could be because of a surprise lineup. It was known the team would be without elite scorer Talia Scott, but little did Kentucky know that 6'2" guard Saylor Poffenbarger would also be out, which meant the Razorbacks hit the floor with a faster, more agile lineup, something that UK was more than likely not prepared to handle.
I've been on the other end of that before where you get all prepared to play a certain way, and then it's like, throw the scouting report out. You know, none of this is going to work. So may have, because I thought we drove it by them. I mean, Carly drove it by her matchup several times. I thought we got the matchups we wanted going to the basket, and I think that got us confident early and then allowed us to really get good catch and shoot threes. But yeah, it had to probably have surprised them a little bit.
Some big news for a now former Razorback track star. After an incredible freshman season in which he won the Bowerman Award, Jaden Hibbert has decided to go pro. The 19-year-old Hibbert factored to be a huge part in the Razorbacks indoor team defending their national title this season. But after landing a world-leading jump last year, breaking multiple records and hoisting 4 total SEC and national titles, doing this thing for a living certainly seems like the right move. And finally, the Gymbacks are hosting the number 13 Auburn Tigers tonight at a sold-out Barnhill Arena. They are the 4th best team in the country and are ranked inside the top 10 in every event for the first time since 2021 and are top 5 in vault and floor, 5th and 3rd respectively. Team intros are at 6:45. The meet will start at 7 o'clock. Luckily, that's indoors. They won't have to battle any elements of the weather. So if they
I'm actually
were,
headed to that one. I'm excited. I've never been in Barnhill.
Our assistant news director, too, also checking it out. So, yeah.
Should be a good one.
It should.
If you sit next to our assistant news director, you better be on your best behavior. Sit next to the boss.
I love it. Hey, right now it's still pretty cloudy. We're going to have some scattered showers overnight tonight. Rainy start tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon there could be a few flurries. But then the good news is that next week we've got a lot of sunshine. 60s are back in the forecast.
All right. I am so excited for the 60s. Are you guys?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
I kind of like the winter, but yes, it'll be nice to get a break.
A little break is nice.
There's always that person. All right. Thanks for joining us live exclusively on the 5+ app. We so appreciate it. And if you miss us on broadcast, well, guess what? We'll be right there tonight at 10. See you then.